Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome again. Welcome to the next session of our fifth session of fifth week. Okay, students, we were on V model. Basically, V-shaped SDLC model को हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे. ये वाली स्लाइड अप टू सम एक्सटेंट हमने डिस्कस कर ली थी. इसमें देयर डिफरेंट स्टेजेस लाइक दिस वन इज रिक्वायरमेंट डिज़ाइन स्टेज, देन डिज़ाइनिंग फेज को अगर हम देखें तो दिस वन इज अबाउट system design, architecture design, and module design. This one is linked with design. Then we have to move onward like coding करते हैं और फिर हम testing करते हैं like unit test, integrating है, system test and then acceptance test. तो जनरली जो है वो यही वाली तीनों आपकी बेसिक जो स्टेजेस हैं उनके रिगार्डिंग है ये सारी यू कैन से प्रोसेसिंग वेरिफिकेशन फेजेस हैं आपके पहले, देन कोडिंग है, देन वैलिडेशन फेजेस हैं. तो अगेन सेम थिंग ओवर हियर इस स्लाइड में भी यही चीज़ें बताई हुई हैं कि फर्स्ट वी हैव टू एनालाइज द रिक्वायरमेंट एनालिसिस जिसको हम कहते हैं एनालाइज द रिक्वायरमेंट. देन अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू डिज़ाइन योर सिस्टम जिसमें हम कहते हैं सिस्टम डिज़ाइन, आर्किटेक्चर डिज़ाइन एंड मॉड्यूल डिज़ाइन एंड सो ऑन. एंड देन उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आप प्रोग्रामिंग कोडिंग करते हो, फिर उसको हम टेस्ट करते हैं. आफ्टर टेस्टिंग दैट testing, that means implementation and so on, it will be accepted by the you can say um, customer. So how it will goes on by V shape, like preparation of the acceptance test cases, that is on this stage, and from one stage then you have to move to the next stage. System test cases, second important thing, integration and unit test. So unit test cases, then integration, then system test cases, and then preparation of acceptance test cases. So this is how it will move coding के point of view से उससे onward हम जाएं तो. So next one is about V-shaped SDLC model, a variant of the waterfall model that emphasize the verification and validation. तो जो बेसिक आपकी इस पे एम्फेसाइज है वो वेरिफिकेशन और वैलिडेशन का है. ये आपकी वेरिफिकेशन है और ये आपका वैलिडेशन का फेज है. लाइक आपने जितनी भी डिजाइनिंग के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से है आपने verification currently, that is all about according to the you can say requirement and so on, and then validation whether it's according to the requirement, whether it's for the you can say acceptance or not. Test of the product is planned in parallel with the corresponding phase of the development. So testing of the product is planned in parallel with the corresponding phase of the development. दोनों चीजें आपकी development और testing एक साथ हो रही होती हैं. That is the reason आप पैरेलल बेसिस पे इसको रन करते हो. दैट इज द रीजन हम इसको वी शेप्ड मॉडल कहते हैं. नेक्स्ट वन इज अबाउट एडवांटेजेस एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस. Simple and easy to use, each phase has specific deliverables, higher chance of success over the waterfall model due to the development of test plans early on during the life cycle. So that can be the, you can say that is the reason it's better than the waterfall model, because you can test your plans during that cycle even though. Works well for small projects where requirements are easily understood. So generally you think spiral is better for your projects and all that. So उसके कुछ drawbacks भी हैं वो हम देखते हैं. What are the disadvantages? Very rigid, like the waterfall model. It's very rigid. It's very difficult to. Little flexibility and adjusting scope is difficult and expensive. Again, it's difficult for us. Software is developed during the implementation phase, so no early prototypes of the software are produced. So it's developed during the implementation phase. Generally, आप जो डिजाइनिंग कर रहे होते हैं और साथ साथ टेस्टिंग करके you just want to implement it. So no early prototype of the software are produced. Model doesn't provide a clear path for the problems during testing phase. So this model doesn't provide a clear path for problems. Generally, there is no need of, or it doesn't provide a clear path for the problems during testing phase. So these are the disadvantages for V-shaped SDLC model. For the projects where an accurate product testing is required for the small and generally for what purpose we can use for the projects where an accurate product testing is required. आप उसमें से up and down के point of view से if you are not sure, there is no need to, you have to go for this model. For the small and mid-sized projects where requirements are strictly predefined, it's small and mid-sized projects जनरली जो मीडियम आपके बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या बिजनेस प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं उसके लिए और स्मॉल प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए, and requirements has to be strictly predefined. It's very important. You can't make the changes. The engineers of the required qualification, especially testers, are within easy reach. This is very important. So this is what about SDLC model. Next one is about prototype SDLC model, students. A prototype is a version of the system or the part of the system that develops quickly to check the customer requirement or feasibility of some design decision. So again, that develops quickly to check the customer requirement and the feasibility as per the design. The prototype is useful when a customer or developer is not sure of the requirement or of the algorithms. Generally, जैसे आप लोग if you are not sure about anything, like generally आपको start में कोई खास चीज़ों का idea नहीं, sorry, so in that case, you have to go for prototype. Like if you are not sure about the algorithm requirements, efficiency, business rules, response time, etc., then you have to use prototype model. Okay, and now prototype model is first you have to find out that you have to define the initial requirement, then you have to design. This one is the second, then you define the prototype of that model or design of that, you can say product. Customer evaluation. When we are talking about customer evaluation, so if customer is not satisfied, if customer is satisfied, then we have to go onward. This is very important. If customer is not satisfied, then we have to go in that cycle till the satisfaction of the customer. Like customer evaluation, whatever is requirement, and then review and updation. Again, design, prototyping, and this one is the cycle. But when your customer is satisfied, then we have to move toward development, test, and maintain it. Right. So this one is about, we can say, prototype model. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of prototype model? It reduces the time and cost, generally improve and increase the user involvement, and effective for online system. Generally, it's very effective for online system and it will increase the user involvement. Generally, आपके user or time or cost के point of view से visible है comparative to other prototype model. Disadvantages क्या हैं? Insufficient analysis. It's a bit you can say not sufficient as per the requirement. User confusion between the PT and final system, and slow process, too much involvement of the customer. So it's a bit slow and too much involvement of the customer. If you want to go with this one, so there is no issue. आप इन चीज़ों को साथ लेके तो आप disadvantages के साथ इसको implement कर सकते हैं. But these are the limitations, we can say. These are the you can say a limitation on the basis of which you can implement prototype, or you can use prototype model. Thank you so much, students, for this session. Next session हम इंशाल्लाह next clip में इसको agile